You believe you are awake. This is the first illusion. You say, I am listening, but a moment later, you are already inside a thought, a memory, an argument with someone who is not here. Yet your mouth will still say, yes, I heard you. Who lies? The world lies to you constantly, but the most dangerous lies are the ones you tell yourself without noticing. You call this state normal. I call it sleep. Right now, as these words reach you, something else is happening in you. Your eyes may be fixed, but inside there is a stream, images, comments, reactions, small likes and dislikes, half-formed fears, plans for later. You do not direct this stream. It runs by itself. Still you say, I am thinking. You are like a man sitting in a carriage, horses racing in all directions, the coachman drunk, and you insist, I am driving. It would be funny if it were not so tragic. Begin here. You do not know yourself, not as you imagine. You know a sketch, a story, a collection of habits that call themselves I. You defend this I, you polish it, you advertise it to others, you suffer for it. But when life presses you, when someone insults you, when fear appears, a completely different I steps out and speaks in your name. Where did the previous one go? You do not even notice that you have changed. This is what I mean when I say you live as a machine. Do not agree with me quickly. Look. For a moment, do nothing but watch. As you listen, sense one thing, the weight of your body where it touches the chair or the bed or the ground. At the same time, hear these words. Just this, hearing and sensation together. If you try it sincerely, you will taste something very small but very important, a tiny distance between you and the stream of your inner life. For a heartbeat, you are less a puppet. You imagine that a remarkable man is someone on a stage, someone famous, someone with many followers, someone whose name appears in books. That is a child's fantasy. The remarkable man lives in plain sight. He stands next to you in a queue, sits quietly on a bus, walks past you in the street. You do not notice him, because nothing in you knows how to recognize real being. You are impressed by personality, by show, sound, movement, polish. You are blind to the one thing that truly matters, presence. The remarkable man is not remarkable because of what he possesses or what he performs, but because of a quality of attention that very rarely appears in human life. He is awake while surrounded by sleepers. He moves through the same streets, pays the same bills, hears the same news, yet his inner life is governed, not accidental. You, on the other hand, are dragged through your days by whatever thought, feeling, or tension happens to be strongest in the moment. This difference is vast. Look at an ordinary day of your life. You wake up already late, already irritated, coffee, phone, messages, a small anxiety about something you forgot yesterday. On the way to work, you are half in a memory, half in a fantasy about a future conversation. At work, you react, pleased when praised, contracted when criticized, restless in between. Is it the mood or feeling tone? Is it the physical restlessness or comfort? Do not search for a correct answer. Let the question shine a light. And while you are asking, again, sense your body. This keeps the moving center included. Most people are dominated by one or two centers, and the third remains neglected. Someone may live almost entirely in their head, spinning theories, opinions, inner dialogues, while barely feeling their body or their genuine emotions. Another may be ruled by emotion, likes and dislikes, attractions and repulsions, enthusiasm and depression, with very little clarity of thought or steadiness of action. Another may be almost entirely physical, always moving, doing, seeking sensations, with little reflection and shallow feeling. Look at your own life. When you face a problem, what is your automatic strategy? Do you think endlessly and do nothing? Do you react emotionally and regret later? Do you throw yourself into feverish activity without direction? These patterns show which centers are overactive and which are asleep. The imbalance creates suffering and weakens your capacity for self-remembering. When one center dominates, attention is trapped in its mode. Self-remembering, when rightly practiced, begins to feed all three centers. The body receives attention through sensation. The feeling center receives attention through the quality of sincerity and interest. The intellectual center receives clear impressions without the usual rush to labyrinthine associations. Over time, this balanced nourishment can awaken a new coordination among them. For a moment, focus attention in the body, feel your shoulders, your back, your hands, then add the awareness of your current emotional tone, neutral, curious, tired, resistant, hopeful. Do not name it too quickly, just feel its flavor. Finally, notice the stream of thought right now, the commentary whispering, G in the background. Now very gently hold all three at once, body sensation, emotional flavor, thought stream, plus these words entering. You will not manage for long, but even a brief experience gives you a glimpse of your 3-story house lit up at once. This effort may leave you feeling slightly strange, as if you are not quite in your usual automatic way of being. That is good. It means something is shifting. You may feel more present and at the same time more aware of your fragmentation. You may see how quickly attention falls back into one center, how easily you are swallowed by a thought, a feeling, or a physical impulse. Do not aim to become some abstract ideal of balanced. That is fantasy. Aim to see in real time how the centers operate in you. When you notice that you are entirely in your head, cut for a moment into sensation. Feel your feet on the ground, your hands, your breath. When you are drowning in an emotion, remember to include the fact of your body and the simple thought, this is a state passing through me. When you are lost in movement and distraction, bring in one clear idea, I am here doing this. The remarkable man is not one who never makes mistakes or never feels turmoil. He is the one who is present in the mistake, present in the turmoil. His thought knows what he feels and what he does. His feeling knows what he thinks and what he does. His action expresses what he thinks and feels. This inner alignment gives him a quiet power. He does not need to shout or show off. There is weight in his presence. Right now, as you sit or lie there, try a very simple coordinated task. Let your attention rest on the sensation in your right hand. At the same time, be aware of the rise and fall of your breath. And at the same time, notice your emotional tone, perhaps a curiosity or a slight impatience. 3 centers touched by one attention. See how quickly one center slips away. Gently, respectfully, bring it back. This is like teaching 3 unruly children to walk together. In the beginning, these exercises seem clumsy, artificial. You may think, this does not feel spiritual, it feels mechanical. But you must remember you are working within a machine. If you wish for higher states, they must be built on a more ordered base. A house with crooked foundations cannot support another floor. In the same way, if your centers are confused and at war, no finer energy, no finer consciousness can remain in you for long. It leaks out through contradiction. With time, if you persist, you may begin to taste rare moments when thought quiets without being forced, feeling is steady and sincere, and the body is alert yet relaxed. In such moments, a different quality of I appears, more total, less scattered. You may sense yourself not as a collection of parts, but as a whole. This wholeness is not dramatic. It is simple, calm, awake. It is the atmosphere in which the remarkable man lives more and more of his life. For now, do not chase such moments. Do not make them into a goal to be grasped and repeated. The path is not ahead of you in imagination. It is under you. Our feet in this instant, right here where you are with your tiredness, your doubts, your moods, your responsibilities. You can observe yourself, remember yourself, and begin, however awkwardly, to bring your 3 centers into one task, to be. You have begun to sense the inner house, its floors, its corridors, the rooms long sealed and the rooms overcrowded. Now another question must arise. What is the purpose of such a house? Why awaken its lights? Why suffer the discomfort of seeing your fragmentation, your lies, your mechanical patterns? I will tell you plainly, because within you there is something that longs to live, and it is trapped beneath layers of habit, fear, imagination, and imitation. It is essence, the part of you born from nature, still fresh, still untouched by the artificial world of personality. But essence is small in you. Like a seed buried under debris, it cannot grow unless you clear space around it. Personality, however, pretends to be the whole of you. It collects opinions, postures, identities, memories, roles, wounds. It is a museum of borrowed pieces. It is not bad, it is necessary, but it is not you. You have fed it all your life, and now it devours your energy. Essence remains starved. When someone says a simple truth that touches your essence, be sincere, be present, feel yourself. You feel a faint trembling as if something ancient stirs, but then personality rushes in. I know this already. I know this is not practical. I am too tired. I will start tomorrow. And essence falls asleep again. To grow essence, you must begin to withdraw false food from personality. One form of false food is self-importance. When you speak about your achievements, your struggles, your spiritual experiences, personality grows fat and essence dies. Another false food is complaint. Every time you rehearse your suffering to yourself or others, you strengthen the parts of personality that depend on being a victim. Another is imagination, daydreaming about how awakened, serene, or powerful you will become someday. All of this strengthens the unreal in you. Right now, notice what personality is doing. Perhaps it is evaluating these words. I agree, I disagree, this is deep, I've heard this before, I want something more dramatic. These are the automatic judgments of personality. Let them be, but do not feed them. Instead, come back to your body, feel your spine, feel the weight of your legs, let your breath move in and out. This simple shift from evaluation to sensation is already a withdrawal of energy from personality and a small nourishment for essence. Essence grows through sincerity, through presence, through accepting what is difficult without theatrics. It grows through seeing yourself without lies. It grows through the quiet fact of remembering yourself in the middle of ordinary life. Do not imagine essence as something holy. It is simple, grounded, direct. It does not dramatize. It does not perform. It is like a small flame that, if protected and fed gradually, can one day become a steady fire. There will be days when personality overwhelms you. You will lie, justify, react, indulge, forget everything. You will behave as you always have. Do not despair. Essence does not grow from perfection, it grows from struggle. Voluntary suffering is this: enduring the discomfort of seeing your contradictions, your weaknesses, your failures, without escape, without pretending, without collapsing. When you can remain present in that discomfort, even for a few breaths, essence strengthens. Now, another truth must be spoken. No matter how much essence grows, nothing in you can be transformed without aim. A ship without a destination drifts with every current. A man without aim drifts with every thought, every mood, every influence of the world. You may practice self-observation, sensation, divided attention, but if there is no aim, no inner direction, these efforts remain scattered like sparks in the wind. What should your aim be? Not something grand like awakening, enlightenment, or transformation. Personality loves these words. They are too big for now. Your aim must be something you can verify, something you can work with today. It might be this: to remember myself 3 times every hour, or to observe my reactions without justification, or to sense my body when I speak, or even to tell the truth about myself internally. Aim must be clear, practical, measurable, and it must be repeated daily because you forget. With aim comes a new force, will, but do not be fooled. You do not have will as you are. What you call willpower is just one temporary desire overpowering another. Real will is the ability to do what you have chosen, regardless of mood or circumstance. You cannot produce real will by effort alone. It appears only when the many scattered parts of you begin to align under one aim. When your thought, feeling, and action move in the same direction, you experience a brief taste of will. Right now, ask yourself, what is one small aim you can take for the next hour? Not for your whole life, only for the next hour. Perhaps to be aware of your right hand whenever you speak, or to observe your posture each time you stand, or to sense your breath when you feel irritation. Whatever you choose, choose sincerely. The remarkable man is remarkable because he lives by aim, not accident. But there is an obstacle, a powerful one. You have a chief feature, a dominant habit, a core mechanical tendency that sabotages every aim. For some it is vanity, for others fear, for others laziness, resentment, self-pity, or self-importance. This chief feature is not hidden. It acts in every difficult moment. It is the thing you always return to when life presses you. You must find it, not intellectually, but through observation. Think of the last 3 times you failed at something inwardly, lost patience, broke a promise to yourself, reacted, forgot. What feeling or thought was present each time? Was it, I am not appreciated? I am afraid to look foolish. I deserve comfort. I am too tired. I must defend myself. Look for the pattern. It is there. And when you begin to see it clearly, do not fight it violently. That only strengthens it. Instead, recognize it as a predictable, mechanical habit. Each time you see it without being swallowed, you weaken it. Each time you act contrary to your chief feature, even for a moment, you strengthen will. Now, something deeper must be said. All this talk of self-observation, self-remembering, aim, will, essence, personality, this is not philosophy. It is preparation for a different quality of life. But none of this means escaping the ordinary world. The fourth way is not a monastery, not a mountain cave, not a withdrawal. It is the path of awakening in the marketplace, in the kitchen, in the office, in traffic, in conflict, in relationship. It is the art of being present while the world pulls you in every direction. To walk this way is to use everything, every frustration, every joy, every disappointment, every physical sensation, every conversation as material for consciousness. The remarkable man lives in plain sight because he is not separate from life. He is in it fully, but not consumed by it. He is touched by events, but not defined by them. He feels pain, but he does not become the pain. He hears praise, but he does not grow intoxicated. He acts, but a part of him remains still. He moves, but a part of him remains watching. This double life is the work. You may wonder, how do I know I'm progressing? You will not know by imagination. You will not know by emotion. You will know when, in a moment of difficulty, anger rising, fear tightening, pride swelling, you remember yourself. When you do not act automatically, when you feel your body and at the same time see the storm inside you, when you choose for even a second a conscious response instead of a mechanical reaction. These moments are tiny, invisible, easily dismissed, but they are gold. Every real step is made from such moments. Now feel your breath again, the rise and fall. Feel your hands, feel your feet. Let the awareness of your body return as a quiet anchor. At the same time, notice any emotion present: interest, doubt, calm, resistance. And while noticing both, observe the thoughts moving like shadows behind the eyes. For a brief moment, try to hold all 3 centers in one field of awareness. Do not strain. Let the attention widen. This is the atmosphere in which the work lives. There is no final attainment in this work. No diploma, no certificate, no fixed state called awake. At best, there are longer and more frequent moments of consciousness. At best, you become more honest, more present, more inwardly balanced. At best, you suffer less from your own mechanicalness and offer less suffering to others. At best, you participate a little more in your own life. The path is long, but the beginning is always immediate, always now. You begin again every time you observe yourself without judgment. You begin again every time you return to your body. You begin again every time you remember that you are here. If you imagine that the work is behind you, you fall asleep. If you imagine that it is far ahead, you fall asleep. The work is in the next breath, in the next moment of sincerity, in the next small effort against sleep. So take one more breath, not deeper, just aware. Let the awareness spread through your whole body. Let the impressions of this moment enter without resistance. Let a quiet recognition arise. You are here, and from here you begin again. This is the verdict. Nothing is finished. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is final. Conscious work is not a chapter you complete. It is a fire you must continue feeding. You will forget 1,000 times. You must return 1,001. You stand at the threshold, not of an ending, but of a beginning that never ends. The work calls you, not once, but at every moment, and its voice is simple. Wake up, look, remember yourself, begin again. In the evening, you numb yourself with noise, screens, food, or worries. In bed, your body lies down, but your mind continues chewing on the same stale thoughts. Where in all this were you conscious? Not thinking, not reacting, conscious. Right now, test yourself. Take 3 breaths. Do not change them. Do not deepen them. Just notice the sensation of air entering and leaving. At the same time, listen to this sentence. Try to hold the two together, the breath and the words. You will see, if you are honest, how quickly one is forgotten. Either you follow the words and lose the breath, or you follow the breath and lose the words. This difficulty is your first teacher. It shows you that what you called attention is brittle, weak, divided by accident, not by will. You were never told that life is a school, not the kind that gives certificates, but a school for the growth of being. You were taught to acquire knowledge, to gather opinions, to strengthen personality. No one told you that without inner work, you will die much as you were born, perhaps with more information, but with no more real consciousness. A vegetable with a library. In this sense, the majority of humanity lives and dies as potential, never realized. It is a waste on a cosmic scale. Someone may say, this is too harsh, but the truth must be harsh at first. Otherwise, it cannot cut through the layers of self-deception that surround you. You are not asked to believe what I say. You are invited to verify. You cannot begin to change until you see how mechanical you are. You cannot become remarkable while you still imagine yourself already special. So let us first dismantle this illusion. Observe the next spontaneous reaction that appears in you. Perhaps you hear a noise and irritation rises. Perhaps you remember a person and a wave of resentment or longing comes. Do not suppress it or express it. For just a few seconds, let it be and watch. See how it takes your body, your face, your breathing. Feel how it colors your thoughts, how it tries to justify itself. Ask silently, did I choose this? Do not answer with the mind. Look. If you do this even a little, you will see something shocking. Almost everything in you happens. Thoughts happen, emotions happen, movements happen, and afterwards a small voice claims, I decided. This voice is the greatest thief. It steals your life and replaces it with a story. So the first step of real work is to come face to face with this fact. As you are a mechanism that believes itself to be a man. This is not an insult, it is a diagnosis. A machine can become a man, but only if it sees that it is a machine. The remarkable man begins exactly where you are now, in confusion, contradiction, automatic living. The difference is that he does not turn away from what he sees. He bears it, he uses it. You, if you wish, can do the same. Begin now with a simple task. For the next minute, without changing your position, notice the sensations in your right hand. Not the idea of the hand, but the actual tingling, warmth, heaviness, or absence of it. At the same time, let the words continue entering. The mind will try to escape into thoughts about this exercise, into commentary such as this is strange or this is interesting. Let all that pass like clouds. Stay with sensation and sound together. If you lose one, gently return. Do not expect success. Expect to see your sleep. When you try this, you meet at once your first obstacle, the weakness of attention. This is a precious encounter. Do not be discouraged. The remarkable man did not begin with strong attention. He forged it, breath by breath, failure by failure. You are not inferior. You are unexercised. You have let your mind become like a spoiled child, running wherever it likes, whenever it likes. Now, for the first time, you ask it to stay in one place. Of course it protests. There is in you a quiet, unassuming capacity to see, not to explain, not to judge, not to fix, just to see. This is the seed of your possible greatness. You have used this seeing only outwardly, to observe other people, to criticize, to compare, to admire, or condemn. Now you must turn it inward, not to become morbid or self-absorbed, but to know soberly what is there. To observe yourself is to stand a little outside your ordinary flow and watch the machine operate. Try for a few seconds to see the posture of your body, not from the outside as in a mirror, but from inside. Notice if your shoulders are tense, if your jaw is tight, if your stomach is clenched. Do nothing to change any of this. Simply see. For most of your life, you have changed without seeing. Now you practice seeing without changing. Why this insistence on not changing? Because the moment you try to change what you see, you fall back into the old game of one eye trying to improve another eye. The liar tries to correct the thief. The coward tries to make the braggart more modest. This is still sleep. First, there must appear an impartial witness, a quiet presence too. Hat simply registers. Here is tension, here is fear, here is anger, here is vanity, without praise, without blame. Listen carefully. You are not asked to become good. You are asked to become real. Reality is not nice and not ugly. It is what it is. When you see your jealousy, your laziness, your self-importance, do not rush to hide it under spiritual words or noble intentions. Keep your eyes open. You must swallow the bitter taste of your actual state. This swallowing is already a form of inner work. It is a small suffering, but a voluntary one. Right now, bring your attention to your face. Are your eyebrows lifted, contracted, relaxed? Is your mouth tight? If you are honest, you will notice that your expression is not chosen by you. It is chosen by the mood of the moment, by some unnoticed stream of thought. Then expand awareness to your whole body. You may find a restlessness in your legs, a heaviness in your back. See how the body reflects the inner weather. Again, do nothing. Just know, I am like this now. You have lived all these years surrounded by yourself, and yet you are a stranger to yourself. Your inner life has moved in shadow, rarely visited by conscious attention. You have tried to change circumstances, people, jobs, cities, partners, all to escape the discomfort of your inner state. But you have not studied the machine. The remarkable man is remarkable because he has undertaken this study with patience and sincerity. He has written his own book in his own flesh and feeling through observing. There is a trap here. When you begin to observe, you may start to judge. You see anger and call yourself bad. You see fear and call yourself weak. You see vanity and call yourself hypocrite. All of this is more sleep. Judgment is another mechanical reaction. It keeps you identified with what you see. The work asks for something rarer, separation without rejection, to see the dirt on your clothes without thinking you are the dirt. Imagine a scientist studying an engine. If he grows furious every time he finds a broken part, he will learn nothing. He must see, record, understand. You must become a scientist of yourself. Calm, relentless, exact. This inner science begins with small observations, repeated many times, in many moods, in many situations. The data is your own behavior. And the first conclusion is always the same. I do not do. Things happen in me. Now, while listening, let your attention drop into your chest. Is there tightness, openness, numbness? Perhaps nothing is obvious. Then feel your hands again. You are learning a new language, the language of sensation. It belongs to a part of you that has been neglected. Your head has spoken loudly your whole life. Your body has whispered, and you did not listen. To observe yourself fully, you must include this silent partner. When you watch without interfering, something extraordinary, though small, begins to appear, a sense of being separate from what you watch. Not separated in the sense of dissociating or escaping, but a fine thread of I that is not completely absorbed. Thread is fragile, a loud noise, a strong thought, a surge of emotion, and it breaks. You fall again into the river and are carried away. But you have tasted something. You now know, not as theory, but as experience, that there is in you the possibility of being present. The remarkable man lives with this thread woven through his days. He is not constantly in a mystical trance. He simply does not lose himself completely in what happens. He speaks, but a part of him hears himself speaking. He walks, but a part of him feels his feet touching the ground. He suffers, but a part of him sees the suffering. This does not make the pain disappear, but it changes its meaning. It becomes material for work. Try now a slightly more demanding task. Without moving, sense both your left hand and your right foot at the same time. Not imagine them, sense them. And at the same time, continue taking in these words. Very soon you will notice that your attention flickers, jumps, forgets. You may catch yourself lost in a thought like, am I doing this right? That thought itself is something to observe. Each failure is useful if you see it. Every time you notice that you have forgotten, in that instant, you are again closer to being awake. You are accustomed to living with attention entirely outside, to objects, screens, tasks, other people, or entirely inside to thoughts, fantasies, worries. Very rarely do you live with attention both inside and outside at once. Yet this divided attention is precisely the door through which a new quality of I can enter. When you become aware of yourself listening, walking, speaking, then for a brief moment there is you and there is what you do. 2, this is the beginning of freedom. When you say I am angry, for example, you mix your sense of being with the emotion. You become anger. But when, even for a second, you sense your body and at the same time notice the anger moving in you, there is a crack. I and the anger are not quite the same. Through this small crack, light can enter. So I ask you now, as you listen, say silently, I am here. Not as a mantra to repeat mechanically, but as a pointer. Then check, where is here for you? In the head, spinning, in the chest, beating, in the sensation of your hands and feet. Try to find, not with the mind, but with attention, the simple fact of your presence. Maybe it appears first as the sense of your whole body as one mass. Maybe as a slight quiet in the background. Do not force it, just look. You will discover something strange. The moment you try to grasp this presence, it slips away. The mind rushes in and says, this is it. And in that instant, you lose it. Presence cannot be held by thought. It can only be lived. But every attempt, every small taste, strengthens a muscle in you that has long been unused. The remarkable man has developed this muscle. You can too, if you are willing to make efforts that no one sees and that no one will reward from outside. The effort is this, again and again, to return. You return to your body, your breath, the immediate sensation of yourself, while in the middle of whatever your life requires. You do not leave your work, your family, your duties. You introduce a second line, inner attention, into the same activities. This is why the remarkable man can live in plain sight, unnoticed. His work is invisible. He does not need special clothes, special language, special rituals. His temple is his own attention. Take one more exercise with you from this moment. Several times today, when you remember, pause for just 3 breaths. In those 3 breaths, sense the whole of your body from head to feet, and at the same time, be aware of what is in front of you, the room, the street, the screen. Do not change anything. Do not try to feel holy or special. Simply be divided, outside and inside together. Then continue your day. You will forget 9 times out of 10. The 10th time is already a victory. If you do not take these small efforts into your ordinary life, then everything you hear will be entertainment, spiritual decoration on the same old sleep. But if even a small part of you is tired of being a passenger in your own life, then begin quietly, stubbornly, to observe yourself and to return to yourself. The remarkable man you dream of is not a figure somewhere far away. He is the possible you, hidden beneath layers of habit. He lives in plain sight because he lives in you now as a seed. For the moment, do nothing more than this. Feel the contact of your body with where you sit or lie. Feel one hand, feel one foot, and listen. In this simple, awkward, unstable state, you are already closer to waking than you have been for a long time. Do not rush to conclusions. Do not rush to speak about it to others. Work. Continue to see. Continue to return. You have taken a small step back from your own life and looked in. This is already rare. But if you stop here, the machine will quickly repaint this experience as another story. I had a deep realization. It will use even this work as decoration. So the next necessity is not another beautiful idea, but a shock, seeing something about yourself that you would rather not see and not looking away. You have spent years protecting an image of yourself, the good one, the intelligent one, the victim, the strong one, the humble one, the spiritual one. You polish this image for others, but most of all for yourself. Now, for the first time, I ask you to turn the light on, not to make the image more appealing, but to see where it is false, not in theory, but in a precise moment. Think of a recent situation where someone criticized you, even gently. Perhaps they said you were late, inattentive, careless. Outwardly, you may have smiled, apologized, explained. Inwardly, what happened? A wave of heat, a tightening in the chest, a silent defense. They don't understand. I have reasons. Or perhaps a familiar sadness. I am never good enough. What you felt in such a moment is not an accident. It is a doorway. Behind that doorway lives one of your chief lies about yourself. Right now, recall one such moment in detail. See where you were, what was said, what expression you wore, what you answered. As you recall, sense your body, the weight of your spine, the contact of your feet with the ground or the bed, the shape of your shoulders. At the same time, look inwardly for that flavor of resistance, that almost automatic refusal to accept what was true in the criticism. Perhaps they were only 10% right, but that 10% burns you. Why? Because it scratches the paint on your image. This is the first shock of self-observation, catching yourself in the act of lying to yourself. You say you want truth, but when truth comes and shows you your laziness, your vanity, your cowardice, you resist it like poison. You explain it away. You blame others. You reinterpret events. You twist memory. See this, not with disgust, not with pride, but with astonished clarity. This creature that you have been calling I is built on such maneuvers. To work, you must be willing to stand naked in front of your own gaze. Not physically, but psychologically naked, no excuses, no ornaments. You need to become able, at least sometimes, to say, yes, here I was false, here I was petty, here I pretended, here I acted kindly, but secretly wanted something in return. This is not to sink into guilt. Guilt is another self-indulgence. It makes you feel important in your own misery. No, you are asked for something very different, a clean acknowledgement. Feel now the tension in your jaw. Do not change it. Simply see tension. Then notice the set of your mouth, the muscles around your eyes. See in this very moment how your body holds a history of unspoken refusals, of swallowed words, of rehearsed identities. The body does not lie. Where your story says, I am relaxed, I am fine. Your neck is a rope, your shoulders are armor. Look, self-observation must be like an inner camera. It records, it does not comment. The more you practice, the more you notice patterns. You may find that every time someone disagrees with you, anger rises. Every time you are alone, the same self-pitying monologue returns. Every time you feel uncertain, you talk more. These repetitions show that what you call yourself is a small set of predictable reactions triggered by circumstance. There is nothing personal about them. The same patterns live in millions of people. You are not as unique as you think. Do not be discouraged by this discovery. It is humiliating, yes, but it is also liberating. If your laziness, your jealousy, your vanity are mechanical, then they are not the deepest truth of you. They belong to the machine, not to the possible man. The remarkable man has passed through this humiliation. He has seen the puppet in himself and refused to continue worshiping it. You are being invited to the same refusal. As you observe yourself, you will also see that there is never just one I in you. In the morning, an I says, I will work on myself today. I will observe, I will be present. By midday, another I says, I am too busy, I will do it later. In the evening, a third I says, I am too tired. Tomorrow morning, the first I returns, making plans for the new day, confident, forgetting all the broken promises. None of these I's remember each other. They each claim to be you, and you believe them all in turn. Begin to catch to-dos. his inner parliament, when one I appears making a strong declaration, I will never do that again. I will always do my exercises. Write it down if you can. Later, when another I contradicts it, write that too. Compare. You will see you are not one, but a multitude, a crowd wearing one name. The shock is realizing that in this crowd, the one who sincerely wishes to awaken is weak and often absent. So the first stage of work is merciless honesty. You are not asked to be harsh, but to be exact, to see. When you catch a lie in yourself, do not polish it. Do not justify it. Do not dramatize it. Simply call it by its name. Here I lied. When you notice a familiar excuse rising, I had no choice. They made me do it. This is just how I am. Observe it like a reflex, as automatic as a knee jerk. Little by little, this observation loosens its grip. Try this now. Think of a small promise you made to yourself recently that you did not keep. Perhaps you said you would rise earlier, eat less, stop scrolling. Practice this inner work. Feel in your body the discomfort of this broken promise. Do not argue with it. Let the discomfort be. At the same time, sense your hands and your feet. Hold the disappointment and the bodily sensation together. This is voluntary suffering, accepting the pain of seeing yourself as you are without escaping. If you continue like this, something quiet begins to form in you, a taste for truth. At first it is bitter. Later it becomes strong wine. You begin to prefer the sharp clarity of seeing your mechanicalness to the sweet sleep of flattering fantasies. And this preference is the beginning of an inner orientation, a magnetic direction. It is still very small. It must be fed, protected, and strengthened. And it requires another step, not only to see yourself, but to remember yourself. What you have practiced until now is like shining a flashlight on the inside of a machine. You see the belts moving, the gears spinning, the wires sparking. Useful, but incomplete. There must appear not only the seeing of the parts, but the sense of the one who sees. Otherwise, observation becomes just another mechanical function. You may become a clever critic of your own patterns and yet remain asleep. So, what is this strange phrase, remember yourself? You think you remember yourself all the time. You say I hundreds of times each day, but when you say I am angry, is there really a living sense of I or only the fire of anger? When you say I want, is there a presence behind the want or only the momentum of desire? True self-remembering is not a thought about yourself. It is a simultaneous awareness of the outer and the inner in which a quiet sense of I am here appears. You can have a small taste of this right now. Let your eyes or your inner attention, if your eyes are closed, take in what is in front of you, the room, the light, the shadows, the screen. At the same time, feel the sensations of your whole body as one from head to feet. Not every detail, just the general mass of aliveness. And now, in the middle of this double awareness, say silently, I am. Do not imagine anything. Do not seek a mystical feeling. Just see if for a moment there is a simple recognition, I exist now. Immediately thoughts will come, is this it? I don't feel anything special. I think I am doing it wrong. These thoughts are not a problem. They are your material. Notice that they are objects in your field of awareness, just as much as the chair, the wall, the sound. They are not you. Self-remembering is the state in which you stand one step back from all of this, body, thoughts, emotions, and include them in your attention without being entirely swallowed. It will slip away almost at once. Good. Then you have something to work with. The practice is not to hold this state for long. At the beginning, that is impossible. The practice is to return to it often. Many short moments of divided attention, world and self together, accumulate over time into a new quality of being. The remarkable man has cultivated this divided attention until it becomes almost second nature. He lives in two directions at once, toward life and toward himself. Try another form of this now. As you listen, let one part of your attention stay with the physical sensation of your breathing, the movement in the chest or belly. Do not control the breath. Just feel it. The other part stays with the flow of words. So there is you, there is the breath, and there are the words. Three elements. Perhaps for one breath you can hold them together, then you lose one, then you notice you have lost it, and in that noticing you return. This effort is very small from the point of view of your imagination. You would prefer something dramatic, some great revelation, some cosmic vision. But from the point of view of your possibility, this simple divided attention is immense. It is the seed from which everything else can grow. Without it, all your ideas about spiritual development remain fantasies in the same sleeping mind. With it, slowly, a new level of consciousness can anchor itself in you. You will meet resistance. A part of you will say, this is boring, this is too simple, or this is interfering with my relaxation. Another part will say, I will do it later when I have more time. These are voices of sleep. Hear them, do not obey them. Self-remembering asks for no special time, no special place. It can be brought into walking, eating, speaking, working. The only requirement is that you remember to remember. Notice at this moment whether there is a slight shift when you decide, for the next few sentences, I will be here. Perhaps there is a tiny straightening of the spine, a slight deepening of the breath, a more vivid awareness of the room. This shift is not imagination, it is real. You become more dense, more present. You are less easily pushed around by whatever thought or emotion happens to pass. Even if it lasts only a second, it is of enormous value. Now consider something uncomfortable. Most of your life has passed without this. Days, months, years in which you were never truly present to yourself, only present to your tasks, your dramas, your pleasures and pains. Life itself is a series of shocks meant to rouse you, loss, success, illness, love, humiliation. But without the capacity for self-remembering, they only push you from one sleep into another. You need to bring your own shock, the effort to be awake in the middle of what happens. There is another dimension to this effort. You are not only a head and a set of ideas, you are a three-storied house. One floor thinks, one floor feels, one floor moves and senses. These three centers, intellectual, emotional, moving, instinctive, each have their own language, their own tempo, their own needs. In mechanical life, they interfere with each other constantly, wasting energy. In the remarkable man, they are harmonized. His thought, feeling, and action speak the same language. Begin to study in yourself which center is active at a given moment. Right now, perhaps the intellectual center is busy following these ideas, comparing them with what you know, agreeing or disagreeing. The emotional center may be reacting, interested, irritated, hopeful, skeptical. The moving center is managing posture, breathing, small fidgeting, the tension of your hands, the blinking of your eyes. All three are involved, but one is usually in front. Gently, without strain, ask yourself, in this very moment, which center is most prominent? Is it the stream of thoughts